Join Gator great Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. It's a live edition, a Friday edition of the program. It's PodUp with Matthews in the morning, coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida, right there in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Swing on by, see the good people at International Diamond Center. Today's show we'll have JC, then we'll have former Gator tight end Charlie Dean, who's now going to be a new sponsor on our program. He has it's called the Sweet Citrus Acres RV Resort down in Crystal River. It is so damn nice. I went down there. They have cottages that you can rent, cabins, however you want to call it, lakes. I mean, it's right. It is sweet. Anyway, JC, you're on the Titan More Hotline. Yeah. What a night! Yeah, CS college football.
Well, it's so great, isn't it, to have it?
Well, I'm going to give some people. I know a lot of people don't care, but this is why I love sports, because you got to play the game. Okay. Division II, the South Dakota Mines were 40-point underdogs to Drake. Drake is a very good program in FCS. They beat Drake as a 40-point underdog.
What?
Drake. Division II, Concord, 30-point underdog, beat a very good program in Davidson.
Yes.
Houston Christian beat Southeast Louisiana. Listen to this team.
Okay.
Division II, Ohio Dominican was a 22-point underdog, upset Morehead State at their ballpark.
Sounds like the books are not on top of this
West Florida, who they built a really good program in Pennsylvania. Yeah. They were a 20-point underdog to Southern Illinois. They won the game.
Upset them.
Here's a big one. NAIA, which is like glorified high school football.
Yeah.
Louisiana Christian, 15-point underdog, goes to Northwestern State.
Yeah.
And beats them. So what a night.
Golly.
College football.
That does sound okay. So what I'm doing here, QB, is I got this is my Body Tech creatine and glutamine. All right. And you caught me. I mean, it's an early start this morning. So we
started at 8 o'clock at the same time.
You get a scoop like this in a funnel. See the scoop? You put it in here, and then you just dump it in there.
And now you're going to be bigger, stronger, faster.
Oh, shoot. Well, yeah, that's right. And, it sounds like I better look at some underdogs this weekend. Everybody's a little bit off on their booking. West Florida, speaking of them, started their football program in 2016. So that was 10 years ago. And they won the Division II National Championship in 2019, West Florida did. And then they played their first ever game as a Division I team and beat, as you said, the Salukis, the 16th ranked Southern Illinois Salukis. 16th ranked in I don't know what, but number 16 is what I'm reading.
Southern Illinois always goes deep in the playoffs and
Salukis.
FCS.
Yeah. So, and that's West Florida. Is that Pensacola, QB?
That's Pensacola. They used to play where the Pensacola baseball minor league team played, but they built their own little facility.
Division I.
Their coach, Caleb Nobles, has done a really good job.
Yeah, so 34-31 over the Salukis. West Florida they were up 20-9 at halftime and then scored 2 touchdowns in the second half, and they held on to win by 3. So go. What are they? They are the
Argonauts.
The Argonauts. Yes, the Argonauts. So, all right.
JC, buy a hat.
I got to. I love the logo. I'm looking at it right now. It's a blue, looks like a blue Spartan kind of thing. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, right? I mean, all these games you're talking about and all these programs, who the hell needs NIL, right? They're just going to go out there and find some kids that want to play football.
Some of those FCS schools have NIL.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's really cool to hear some of these names. The Ohio Dominican. What?
When I saw that, I'm like, who goes to that school?
Right. And then where are they going to find the money to support a football program? So they travel in buses. So I think it's pretty cool to hear that. And I love it because we always ignore the little teams and the little guys, but
I don't. You do.
well, but they do play hard, and you're right. I do more than you do, but they play football just like the rest of them. They're just kids playing football. It's kind of neat to see in this day of professional college football because that's what it is. You know, you got Mensa making 6 million. You got this guy
This is
making
making
5 million.
more than half the NFL
I mean,
quarterback.
and now we have a judge, okay, because judges, we don't elect them, or they're just these federal judges get appointed, right? And now he's saying to Greg Sankey and to Tony Petitti, screw you. We're not going to let you stop these kids from being eligible. And this is all about LSU and their slimy lawyers and all the slime that's just flowing through the system right now in the judicial way. And I tell you, these judges, we can't let them run our lives, these federal judges. So of course the leagues are going to take this to a court above and try to go. It may even go to the Supreme Court. But man, if you can't make your own rules in your own damn conference, you don't have a conference. You don't have an authority. And now we're letting judges run the world. That's wrong.
So my question is, JC, these kids are going to go back, whatever schools they go to, and then the commissioner is just going to the judge can't tell the commissioner that we are suspending the coach for X amount of games and that is a illegal, we're taking wins away. Judge can't do that, correct?
I that's what I was led to believe. I mean, judges can't determine whether a team is in first place or in last place, or what game is this or what game is that. They can only just rule on eligibility standards. And I think at some point they're just gonna have to pull the plug on these coaches and these schools and maybe withhold certain funding amounts. I don't know the answer. This is all for these lawyers to figure out on the conference side. But yes, I think you're right.
There's a point too that this needs to go on the athletes as well. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just going back for money because you're not good enough to play at the next level.
That's right. It's all about chasing the dollar. And when you decide,
go get a job, go work for JC.
Well, I'm entering the workforce, or let's say I've decided I'm gonna leave campus. I'm going to enter the draft, okay, and then I go through that draft and sign a contract. How is it that I'm able to just break all of those legalities just because I suck and I get cut, and now I've got an opportunity back where I left to maybe come back and play? These coaches got to make a stand too. And the Lane Kiffin, he's got I know he's playing within what he thinks are the eligibility rules, but he has no moral standing whatsoever.
None.
Absolutely zero.
And as I said the other day, there's going to be some serious issues with these kids when they get to the real world.
Yeah.
Because they're going to end up, they're not going to make this kind of money ever again in their life unless they hit the damn lottery.
Gosh, I know it. I know it.
High school coaches making $45,000 and not be able to, they're going to be like, well, I got to actually pay to live somewhere now.
Yeah, I got to pay rent. I know. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that we're now bringing federal judges involved into conference eligibility rules that are being made by the presidents and the commissioners of these leagues that are in charge of these entities. And I can't take these federal judges. Why should somebody who appointed by a president 8 years ago have any say or sway whatsoever in what's going on in college athletics, unless it has something to do with something that's actually standard to the way of life? It should have nothing to do with the rules that these conferences put in place, and it's just overreach at the highest level, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous. It takes everything away. But the good news is that today and tomorrow we've got actual games on the field, and tomorrow we've got some Division I football, Power 5 football, Power 4 football, and some Group of 6 teams getting involved, and we have Florida State playing tomorrow night. So I think that's what we need to think about. Let these other guys figure it out.
Silverback Concrete builds firm foundation for generations. You stand on it, we stand by it. John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, it was my understanding that if LSU adds those players, that Kiffin would be suspended for 6 games, among other things.
Well, now this judge is saying that the commissioner can't do that.
Right. I don't know if the judge, that was what the conference stated.
I know.
That they could forfeit wins, the coach would be suspended for half their games or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't think, regardless of how it all turns out with the judge's decisions, he ain't going to be able to overturn Greg Sankey suspending people and taking wins away.
I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't think so. And I wouldn't think that he would have it. All he's trying to, I think he's just saying, listen, we're going to handicap or we're going to kneecap these administrators on the eligibility side of it. But then the administrators have the levity to go ahead and say, well, you can do that and you can put him on your team, but your game's not going to count if he plays. Screw you. And we're going to forfeit that LSU game and let Mississippi State be the winner.
Oh, Dan brings up a good point too.
I don't know.
This. Dan on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law. That 50% fine of the team's operating budget.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, how would you like to be a guy donating to your school and then have that money be absolutely absconded with because your school wants to cut corners on player eligibility rules? Yeah, I would immediately cancel that check. So that's a big one. Operating budget, man. I mean, that's planes, trains, and automobiles. That's equipment. That's counselors. That's trainers. That's everything. 50%. You can't risk all of that and have everything
for some tight end
or some kid that can't play for the Browns. Yeah,
right.
No.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous when you think about it. It's
totally ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Just like I said, NIL was ridiculous. What, 6 years ago?
Well, they've twisted the meaning of that. It's like what you said: go to the car dealership, sign some autographs, get paid a couple $1,000, and take it to the house. Now we're doing. Go
to the car dealership and pick up your bag of $600,000 and don't do anything.
Yeah, or just here's a check for $4 million to try to play football at this level, even though you can't. DJ, I'm sorry, he's gone now. But Daryl
on the Titan text line says, "Glad the Braves swept the LA Dodgers."
They absolutely
still pitching well at 37 years old.
Chris Sale's great. And I think the Braves really are in the Dodgers' head right now. I mean, 1-0 yesterday. 1-0. The Dodgers have played awful in the last 30 days. Everybody's got them crowned as the World Series champions because they got that pitcher from Detroit. But the reality is that they can't hit. They're having trouble hitting, and Ohtani's not 100%. He's hobbling around out there. They're scared to even pitch.
They sound like your team, JC.
Well, my team has somehow managed to stay in this deal without their best hitters, and that's because they do actually have really great pitching and just enough hitting in the American League to hang on and be in the wild card as the one team. So the top wild card team. And, credit to the Red Sox. They're the biggest rival, but they have played amazing baseball since the All-Star break, and they have played their way into this, and they're scary. If Garrett Crochet is healthy, the Red Sox are not a team you want to have to deal with, and I think that's who New York's going to end up playing, and they'll probably lose to the stinking Red Sox. So there you
go. John says also on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mello, did you see that Lenore Sellers is currently not enrolled in any classes at South Carolina? He has an internship at the golf club.
Yeah, we talked about that a week and a half ago.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did, QB. You forget these things, but I brought it up.
I have CTE, JC.
Well, that's okay. We'll figure that. We'll get you some creatine. But
that's going to help my brain.
Well, we'll get you some Prevagen at the drugstore.
I didn't know that.
No, that's true. He's got no classes. No classes. None.
When's the last time? Actually, the last time I heard somebody ever being suspended for not going to class or your GPA was what? In like 1995, Ike Hilliard missed a class and coach suspended him.
That's right.
I haven't heard it since then, I don't think.
That is so true. I mean, it's not college. There is no such thing as the student athlete except in other sports. It doesn't feel like it. I mean, maybe I'm overstating that, but the reality is that if Lenore Sells doesn't even have to go to classes, he's not a college football player at this point.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about going to class, and if they do go to class, they don't do this. Everything is online.
That's true.
I was in the business school for some reason. So it was a long walk all the way to the other end of campus.
Yeah.
But I met some of my best friends in those classes that I still keep in contact with today. Mm-hmm. If I hadn't gone to those classes, I would have never met these people.
Nah, it's really
I don't even want to get started, but
it's completely impersonal now. The experience of college has changed so dramatically. I think it happened during COVID, and since then it's just gotten worse.
Yes. That's when it started, COVID.
It's just gotten worse because everybody freaked out about COVID. Of course, it was serious, but still, man, my youngest son's college experience was really destroyed here at the University of Florida. He could have gone to LSU, but he went to Florida, and basically was at the house looking at a laptop all day. Good. How's college working out for you? It's a shame. It really is a shame.
All right,
Like
so
I said, the
JC,
grown-ups have screwed the kids over now for so long. I don't even know what to say about it anymore. I sound like
I
an
would
old
like to
man.
do some.
I sound
I
like
know
an
you
old
probably
man.
did it on your program yesterday, but I don't know if everybody
Yeah,
listens to
I
that.
did. I
I'd like to
did.
do some Peachland Dental, Gator Nation's #1 choice for dentistry
Yeah.
in Port Charlotte and surrounding areas. I'd
Sure.
like to do some picks
Sure. Yeah.
for the games this weekend.
Yeah.
By the way, I watched some golf yesterday, but I know we didn't do our picks live.
Right.
I kind of threw them on the show, and Zach put them up at the end. I don't even remember who I picked. Can you tell me who I picked? Do you know?
Well, you told me to text you who I picked, and I
Right.
did see. I did not see who you picked because I wasn't on at that time.
Neither one of
But
us had Minwoo Lee. I'll say that.
that's correct. But again, 3 more rounds. He's your
Minwoo, I
first.
mean, JC, he shot 61 yesterday.
He's a great player. He
Well, no,
hits
the
it as
golf
far
course
as
is too
anybody.
easy.
Of course, it's too easy. That's a good point. All right, so we did do some picks yesterday, and we had a pretty good viewership there. I was looking at the numbers. I will say this though before we go into the games.
Okay, hang on a second before you get to that. Daryl says on
Sure.
YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, the South Carolina quarterback has already graduated. His coach was on some sports show explaining the whole thing. Okay, so I don't know if the rules have changed. I graduated early. To be eligible to play college football,
Yes.
my senior year, I had to enroll into 12 hours of classes.
Yeah.
I was in grad school in
Mhm.
sports administration.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you don't have to do that anymore
I guess not. These are
because he should have to be taking 12 hours to be eligible unless that rule has changed.
that ain't happening. That's just not happening. They're not playing. They're not taking those.
Tony wants to know, he thought you would be showing off your new Gator Golf Booster swag today.
Well, here's
You didn't pay for that one, JC. It was given to you. We're still waiting for you to join.
It's going to happen. It is.
Well,
thank
it's
you
been a
for
year
the
and a
reminder,
half.
Tony. Thank you for the reminder, Tony. All right. So anyway, before we let's go. I wanted to just mention that the 5 most bet college football overs this weekend: Oklahoma, Colorado, Nebraska, UCLA, and Michigan State in terms of wins for the season.
Oklahoma plays?
For wins, no, I didn't finish. It's for the total regular season wins for this season. Oklahoma, it was Kentucky. They're now out of the top 5. It's Oklahoma over 8.5 wins. Colorado over 4.5 wins with a very experienced and large offensive line, apparently. Nebraska over 5.5 wins. UCLA over 6.5, and Michigan State over 4.5. I'm not touching some of those, but we did talk about the games that are on the field tomorrow. And so if you want to talk about these picks right now, the Peachland Dental picks, here they go. You ready, QB?
Yeah, let me pick some.
I'm gonna give you the game, and then you're gonna pick, and I'm gonna pick. Okay, so TCU and UNC start in Dublin, Ireland tomorrow. Oh, what time was it? Noon kickoff. So that's 5 o'clock in the afternoon over there. And TCU opened as a 7.5-point favorite. They are now a 9.5-point favorite over North Carolina. Bobby Petrino calling the plays for North Carolina, but he doesn't have Ryan Mallett throwing the football in this game. So I don't know who UNC has, but I'm going to just go ahead and just go with the market right now and agree with TCU in a double-digit
I'm going to go with the Horned Frogs. I think they're more stable as a program.
Okay.
I do think Bobby Petrino will make North Carolina better. I don't know who their quarterback is.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll go with the Horned Frogs.
We'll go with the Frogs. Both of us are on that one. All right. Then at 3:30, the game that was supposed to be in Brazil, whoever thought that was a good idea is a real idiot. But North Carolina State and Virginia are playing now in Charlottesville, not Brazil. It is a conference game. It wasn't considered to be a conference game before. It is now. The game's in Charlottesville, and they opened at 5.5. Virginia as a favorite. It's now gone down to 3.5. People love C.J. Bailey, the quarterback for NC State. Bo Pribula gets the ball for Virginia. He was Missouri's quarterback last year. It got hurt a lot. Don't know how effective he'll be. I'm going to take the Wolfpack with the points, even at 3.5. Although I got him on Monday at 5.5. So
yeah, I do know. I saw a thing. It looked like everybody on the team was hurt for Virginia.
They are banged up badly, and
I'll take the Wolfpack. By the way, Dan says Facebook Live brought to you by Mel Law. I had Hideki Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, and Cam Young.
Oh,
You had Wyndham Clark, Justin Rose, and Henley. I don't think any of our guys are in the top 10. Well, there's only 30.
Clark's 12th right now. He's 3 under, and the leader is -8. So he's not out of it. Scheffler's at 3 under too. I think he's not out, or he's at 5 under, something like that. This thing is not over by any stretch.
And one more question. I just want to answer Baron's question here on YouTube, brought
Sure.
to you by Quality Plumbing.
Sure.
He asked, is Philip Rivers' son the starter at NC State? No, he's still in high school.
Oh.
He was hurt the other day. He's going to St. Michael Catholic in Fairhope, Alabama.
The starter is a kid named C.J. Bailey, and he's a big guy, can
He's about
sling it
6'5",
around.
about 195.
Yeah, and he can sling it around. And he can run a lot. And I was looking at some, by the way, I was looking at some video of this quarterback Alabama's going to roll out there. I think folks are sleeping on Alabama a little bit because this kid looks like Colin Kaepernick running around out there. Okay, big, tall kid that can sling it and run. All right, so then we have a game that I think is interesting. I don't know how many people are interested in this game, but I do like it. North Dakota State playing their first Division I game as a FBS team, basically, let's call it that, against Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks from Alabama. And that game's at the Fargo Dome. And it was opened at 7.5 for the Bison. It's now down to 6.5, but I'm going to go ahead and say that Jacksonville State's going to have trouble in the Fargo Dome and take the Bison.
It's the Bison.
Bison, yeah. Bison, yeah.
Not Bison. You have to put a C in there.
It's yeah.
I like North Dakota State.
Okay, we're so far we're 3-on-3 at the same. Okay, this is a good game. This is a good game here. UNLV. What's the matter?
Tony says you're a big Kaepernick fan.
No, he's this kid that Russell. He's 6'7", and he's got long legs, and he can throw it a mile, and he runs fast. All right, so
sounds like you're a general manager for some team.
So now Vegas is Dan Mullen. That's our guy, right? We remember him. He's not our guy anymore, that's for sure. But he is got his running Rebels -4 against Memphis, who's playing 70 new players with a new coach. 70 new players on that roster. Memphis is traveling to Vegas. It's a long flight. I don't know. I'm going to take Vegas at home. I think at Allegiant Stadium, they're the pick -4.
I'm going to take the Memphis Tigers because I like their coach. Their quarterback is going to be a guy named Marcus Stokes, who was committed to the Gators. And I don't know which coach we had that committed, but he had like a racial slur in some video. They took away his scholarship. He's kind of worked his way back to big boy football. Memphis has always got speed. I don't like either one of the quarterbacks from Mullen. I don't like Alex Orji, and I don't like Jackson Arnold.
Jackson Arnold? Okay.
So well, I'm going to go with the Memphis Tigers. How many points do I get, JC?
4.
That's it.
You get 4. Yeah.
It's a road game.
I know. You get 4. I mean, it is Vegas. We're not talking about a powerhouse here. This is a Mountain West game, too.
Well, they're picked to go to the playoffs.
Yeah, well, they're picked to win the Mountain West. I don't know if that necessarily means they're going to go to the playoffs. I mean, you also got Boise State to deal with in that division. No, yeah, I think that's right. Or are they in the Pac-12? They're in the Pac-12. Anyway, the other game that I think there's 2 more that we're going to pick. I'm going to take a total in this game. You can pick the side. San Jose State's playing Lincoln Riley at Southern Cal, and Southern Cal is absolutely 1,000% loaded with athletes. They had one of the best recruiting classes, if you want to call it, transfer portals, whatever. They have a ridiculously hard schedule, but to me, they are a really good football team just on paper and athletically. I think Lincoln Riley will score 60 by himself, and I'm going over the total of 60.5. He is averaging 59 points per game against group of 6 teams. As a coach, Southern Cal will not fool around. They'll be up by 40 in the third quarter, and then they'll let the backups play. San Jose will get a couple of garbage touchdowns, and this game will go over 60. That's my pick.
What is the point spread?
38.5.
Yeah, give me the Trojans.
Okay. And then we have another game out west. This one is in Stanford. Hawaii is coming over with Timmy Chang. They are 3.5 point underdogs to the Stanford Cardinals. We're going to pick one more after this. Stanford is -3.5 against Hawaii. What did it say here?
Did Stanford hire a coach or is Frank?
Yeah, they've got a brand new
coach.
Nope. Stanford has a brand new coach. And Stanford, by the way, is an ACC team, just so you know.
I know
and that makes about as much sense as California being an ACC team. But Stanford has a new coach.
It doesn't matter who their coach is.
Tavita Pritchard.
Where did he come from?
He's a former player, and he has no prior head coaching
Give me Timmy
experience.
Chang and the Fighting Rainbow Warriors.
All right, they're getting 3.5. I'll take Stanford, and then Florida State, baby. I had my Aggies hat somewhere around, but they're playing the Aggies from New Mexico State in Tallahassee tomorrow night. I heard some guy say over the week or during the week that he thinks after Florida State beats this team but loses the following week at home to Southern Methodist, that they'll let Norvell go. And I categorically disagree with that just on economics. They can't afford it. And they're going to let him just coach it out this year and then get rid of him. They're going to win less than 5 games, I think, Florida State. They're going to be horrible, and their schedule is ridiculously hard. So having said that, I'll take them in this game against New Mexico State, but I think it gets really bad starting next week when SMU rolls in with Kevin Jennings and all those players they have in Dallas. Matt Leinart was on Sirius Satellite Radio. He's a Heisman Trophy winner from Southern Cal, and he has a son that plays for SMU, and he says that is a very good football team. He says they have all the money they could ever want.
They do.
Do you realize that they don't even get revenue yet from the conference, the ACC?
They don't need it.
They said they just want to be in it, and in year 10, and I think this is now year 3, in 7 years, then they will get to share in some of the conference revenue from TV, but they don't care.
That place has so much money, it's ridiculous.
It is sickening how much. So, hey, good for them. But Matt Leinart says this is a real team. He's a broadcaster on Fox. I tend to believe him, even though his son is playing for him. I get it. But he likes SMU a lot. He says there are 3 teams in the ACC that could win that league. It's Miami, it's Louisville, and it's SMU. That's what he says. So, I mean, why wouldn't I believe what Matt Leinart says? I think he's great.
Well, he's giving you inside information. Maybe it was at the family scrimmage.
As soon as this FSU game is done with New Mexico State, I'm jumping as early as I can on SMU against FSU before that line gets out of control.
Real quick, Rick and Jupiter on the Titan MR text line says, QB, do you think NFL GMs will look at players like Pyburn any differently for going back to college and trying to come back to the league?
Yeah.
You know,
No,
the
I don't either.
Football league does not care about anything unless you can play.
No.
I just think kids realize how hard it is to make it there once they get to camp, especially. And they're like, I ain't gonna make this, but I can go back there and make 4 times what I was gonna if I did make the roster.
What I do like the NFL does, what the NBA doesn't do, is that they say you have to have 3 years of, you have to be in college playing football before you can get drafted. You can't just jump after your first year. They have that at least, and that the NBA couldn't care less. But the NFL is a different league. So anyway, that's our picks, and I think those are some good games for this week 0 concept that they're trying to hold on to. And I think we'll see some blowouts, but I think that Virginia and NC State game has some real teeth to it, and I think we'll see a good battle there. It's an ACC game, and thank God they're not playing in Brazil. Whoever came up with that idea is clearly out of his mind, and nobody down there cares. And if you really think fans want to go to Rio de Janeiro and risk their life by staying out past 6 p.m., you're crazy. And who the hell wants to fly 12 hours to go to Rio de Janeiro from Charlottesville or from Chapel Hill or from Miami for that matter? So who the hell wants to do that? That was a horribly conceived idea, and they canceled it, and they said, you know what, let's make this game count. Let's actually make it count. We're going to play it in Charlottesville and make it an ACC game. Great idea, guys. Well done. Somebody came up with some common sense, and that should be a pretty competitive game on Saturday. Yeah.
Well, that is JC. He will have a great weekend watching ball, and we'll talk to him about it on.
Sounds good.
Miapa Latin Cafe, proud to support Gator Nation for 23 years. Best Latin food north of Miami. Go check out one of their 5 locations today. Quick timeout. Come back. We'll be joined by former Gator tight end Charlie Dean. You're watching and listening to
Charlie
Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Charlie Dean.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, Castaway Sauce, UF Health Orthopedics, Michael Schneider PLLC, Florida Legends Gala and Experience, Money Metals, Sensei Asian Bistro. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker Sports, Florida Cracker Oyster, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, International Gold and Diamond, Advocare, and MGA&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook or YouTube. Listen to podcasts wherever, on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And to advertise, be sure to call my man Freddie at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, plus you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Gainesville's best-kept secret is finally being revealed. Introducing Sensei Asian Bistro. Located in Celebration Point next to Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, Sensei delivers a one-of-a-kind Japanese-French fusion experience that's as refined as it is unforgettable. Indulge in signature dishes like our smoked New York strip, Chilean sea bass, matcha curry, or the crave-worthy chunggang chili chicken. Pair it all with handcrafted cocktails, fresh crudo oysters, or our premium A5 Wagyu tataki. Sensei Asian Bistro. Make your reservation today.
Okay.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Did you know gold and silver have outperformed the S&P 500 over the last 25 years? Money Metals specializes in helping first-time investors, plus they're owned by two Gator grads, Mike and Stephen Gleason. To learn more, visit them at moneymetals.com. Back to the Titan More Hotline. We're joined by former Gator tight end number 86, Charlie Dean. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, my man?
Well, hey, thank you so much for having me on, Shane. Appreciate it. Doing well.
Yeah, first of all, before we jump into we're going to talk about a lot of things today, but Charlie will be one of our new sponsors. He owns the Sweet Citrus Acres RV Resort down in Crystal River. It's an awesome place. You can bring your RV, you can rent the cabins. They got pools, they got lakes you can fish in. Well, I'll just stop talking. Charlie, tell us all about how you went about opening up an RV resort and how's it doing, my man?
Well, it's doing well. We opened up in November of 23. We had 157 pads, and then expanded to 415 pads the following season. And this past season, we expanded what we call our phase 3, the Preserve, which is a tiny home community, which is a 55 plus. It's got a pavilion and a pool for the residents that stay in the phase 3, and the residents can actually utilize all the facilities, which is pickleball, trails, catch and release, 7-acre lake. So yeah, it's going well. This will be what we consider our 4th season, starting this fall. Yeah, we'd love to have people come visit us. We've got rental cabins now, so you don't actually have to have an RV. You come stay the weekend, stay the week. Especially for the Gator games, like you and I had spoken about it, Shane, I'm hoping to get some Gator fans that again, they're going to come to the game, but they'd like to explore Crystal River, the great restaurants, the ambiance of downtown, and be in a 5-star hotel. So yeah,
no doubt about it. It's a cool place for all the Gator fans. If you cannot find, which is extremely hard to find, a hotel, but like Charlie says, you don't have to have an RV. You can actually rent one of the tiny home cabins and they're very, very cool. Speaking of that, Daryl asked on the Titan and More text line, Charlie, my daughter has a travel trailer. My grandson loves to fish. Do y'all have a lake stocked with fish? We're gonna have to come check you out.
Yeah, we do. We stocked it about 4 or 5 years ago. It's a catch and release. It's a spring-fed lake. Yeah, we've if you go on our website and download or tab down to the photos, you can see a lot of the different bass and stuff people have caught over the years. Some pretty nice ones. I mean, 6, 7 pounders.
Nice. All right, Charlie, talk a little bit about your football career. I spoke with you the other day. Obviously, you played for Galen Hall and Coach Spurrier. You're younger than I am, but you saw Coach Spurrier last week at an event in Tampa that Stephen Garcia was holding, and you saw Coach Spurrier there. Tell everybody what Coach Spurrier always says to you the first time he sees you.
And yeah, it's I don't know. Maybe I saw him last year, the year before last, or something. And he said, "Charlie Dean." He's like, "All I think about is Georgia blue slide steamers, blue slide steamers." And I was like, "That's so funny." Blue slide steamers is all he remembers me of, which is funny. At least he remembers me for something.
Yeah, you called a bunch of blue slide steamers, no question about that. I would ask, Charlie, in your career here, what stands out the most to you?
Uh the locker room. We had a great locker room. The older I get, the more you appreciate the relationships you've had and the friendships. And still stay in contact with a lot of guys. And that to me, again, like you said, the playing days kind of fade. The different memories, like coach, he always remembers plays and he'll pull stuff out, and you're just like, did that really happen? But the friendships and memories with the friends that we've had in that locker room, and the times that we've tough times, great times, just the friendships.
Dan has a question on Facebook Live brought to you by Melvin Law. He lives in Dallas, but he comes to a lot of the games. He says, how far away is your RV resort from Gainesville? What about 45
Yeah.
miles?
Yeah. What did it take you, about 45 minutes to get there? 45,
Yeah.
50 minutes. Yeah. It's really easy to get to.
Andy's question for you is, Charlie, does your son Austin stay in touch with any of his Georgia Tech teammates that are on the Gator roster? Philo, Harrison Moore, Luke Harpering, Bailey Stockton.
He does. He does. He was pretty good friends with knows Philo really well, and then the other guys absolutely does.
Florida Cracker Oyster Bar and Grill is the ultimate spot for seafood and more. No matter the occasion, they're ready to welcome you Florida Cracker style. You can also check them out in Keystone Heights. Florida Cracker's not far from there either, is it?
No, actually, we have our bartenders actually work at their restaurants, and they'll switch off. So we actually utilize their staff at our bar, because we have that full liquor bar. And then we'll also have bar food, pizzas, some chicken wings, and some other things. So yeah, absolutely.
William on the Titan MR text line wants to know, what was it like playing for John Reeves?
The best. Just a good guy. His strengths were, he knew Coach Spurrier's offense as good as anybody, as you well know. And it wasn't a matter of him teaching us to play tight end. It was magic. It was his ability to be able to teach us the offense and understand what everybody in the offense is doing for any given play. So that was his strengths. Having the benefits of having him as the coach, because obviously he played for Coach for the Bandits for a couple years. So
Justin in Nashville, Tennessee wants to know, Charlie, do you get to many games in Gainesville, and what is your outlook on the Gators this year?
I haven't, because my two sons were playing, and they finished up. My middle son finished up this past season. So my daughter goes to school there. I've got to one or two games, but I'll go to most of the games this year. I know it's kind of embarrassing, but I haven't kept up so much, other than what I saw at the practice the other day when we had the alumni barbecue. They look pretty good, but you never know. we'll find out when they play. They open up with FAU, right?
They do. So, I mean, obviously, you hadn't really been around Coach Summerall and his staff very much, but just the energy he brings, a guy like you that, played a little bit of linebacker at one time, played tight end, you got to like his mentality going into the season, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a high energy guy. He spoke to the former players. Look, everybody, like I said, I'm expecting the best, and I think he brings a lot of positive energy to the program. At least that's the way it appeared to me when he spoke, and I don't think he's any different than what he appears in front of the media. So I'm looking forward to it. Excited.
Charlie, I wanted to ask you, we texted about it briefly, but obviously Stephen Garcia, who played quarterback at South Carolina under Coach Spurrier, trained your boy down in the Tampa area, Charlie Jr. How is he doing? And what was the event like the other night?
He just finished up his last round of radiation. Um, Thank goodness they called it, and he's in relatively good shape. And being a young man, um, it was a great event. A lot of positive energy, positive love, outpouring for Stephen and his cause. The philanthropic fundraiser was for Quarterback Your Health. You had Coach John Gruden there spoke. You had Coach Spurrier speak. Um, you had a number of other celebrity type individuals come and speak, but the most important one was Stevens doctors, surgeons, and they were absolutely, if they are half the surgeons that they are speakers, Stevens in great hands, great hands.
That's awesome. I wanted to ask you because Austin was at Georgia Tech 2 years ago, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you got to see Aaron Philo play. I think he played a lot against Virginia Tech, maybe NC State and Miami. I don't know if you were at those games or not, but what have you seen from the few games that he played that you can tell the Gator Nation what to expect at the quarterback position?
Well, I actually went to the Miami game, and it was very enjoyable. Enjoyable seeing the Miami fans leave, all upset. But he, to me, as a true freshman, he brought so much poise. I mean, if it wasn't for Cristobal running the ball at the end of the game, if he would have taken a knee, game over. They win. He runs the ball up the middle, Cristobal does, and they stripped it from him. Um, and they get the ball back. I think that's what it was. They get the ball back and they score. Amazing. You know, it wasn't his throwing ability; it was his ability to scramble too, which I thought was very impressive against Miami. And they won.
Yeah, it was a big win. All right, a few more minutes here with Charlie Dean, former Gator tight end, the owner of Sweet Citrus Acres RV Resort. Uh, Johnson on the Titan MR text line wants to know, Charlie, what is the one play that stands out in your career the most?
I don't know. Actually two. One is when we played up in FSU and we had that tight end screen, and you threw the ball. You scramble left and you throw the ball back. It's all my family went to Florida State, so it was kind of I was loving to beat, want to win. You throw the ball back, and I've got like Marvin Jones and I don't know who else was running towards me, and the ball seemed like it took forever to get there. But that was one of the plays that I really enjoyed, and obviously got to score a touchdown in Tallahassee. But when we played the NC State in the Gator Bowl,
Yeah.
and kind of similar play, you were scrambling, and I happened to be like kind of one of your one of your reliefs, and you throw it to me, and it was me and another guy, and I'm running, and the safety comes across, and something in my mind just says, jump. So anyhow, so I jump, and he goes under me and misses me or whatever, and the Jacksonville Times Union gets a pretty cool picture, of me jumping in the thing in the fog, and so yeah, those were a couple plays that that I don't know that I liked.
All right, before we get you out of here, I need a Coach Spurrier story.
Oh God. You know, my only one is like, you know, I brought this. I said something at one of the reunion, and he's like, I didn't say that. It was when we were in FSU. We were playing up there that year, and those guys were just pummeling you. I mean, they were coming. They had what 9 of their defensive linemen get drafted in the first 5 rounds. They were loaded. And coach comes in there and says, Shane, he goes, you're gonna sit the second half. Terry, get ready to go. We need you for Shane, we need you for the SEC championship game or something like that. And I just like looked at Terry and I'm like, Terry, if that 3 steps not there, you better run because they're gonna hurt you. And I like you. I like you a lot. And you better run. And so anyhow, that was, I guess, if I had to. There's numerous, obviously, for all of us, but that was one of the ones that kind of stood out.
Yeah, well, we were getting clobbered, and I'll know the third play of the game. I forgot which D lineman it was. He stepped with those spikes on my left big toenail, and it popped off.
Mm.
And my whole foot was, you could just feel the blood rushing and filling my shoe up. And played the first, second, the remaining of the half, and then we were getting clobbered. Coach like, well, you got to be ready for next week. So I wear a size 11, but for the championship game, they made this steel-toed boot type shoe for my left foot because of the toenail ripped off, and it was a size 12. It felt so clumsy playing with it, but I totally forgot about that. Now that you remember, reminded me I didn't even play in that second half.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, again, like I said, you threw me the ball, we scored. You know, I'm like, well, I hate it that we're losing right now, but at least I scored.
That's right. That's right. All right, Charlie.
All right, thanks, guys.
Let everybody know one more time the website to go to, all that good stuff. What's going on with Sweet Citrus Acres?
SweetCitrusAcres.com, SweetCitrusAcres.com. It's Sweet Citrus Acres RV Resort is the name, located in Crystal River. We're in the city limits. You can get on your e-bikes. You can ride them into downtown. You come back. We've got a full liquor bar. It's a clubhouse. It's 12,600 square feet. It overlooks our 7-acre spring-fed lake, catch and release. Again, 1.5 miles of walking trails. Very active. We always have activities. We've got people coming in, guitar players, karaoke on the weekends. So it's a very active community. Love to have the Gator fans show up. Call my GM. Her name is Dottie. Tell him you're a Gator fan, and we'll work on the pricing to get some special pricing for you.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Chuck Dean. We'll talk to you soon, man.
All right. See you later. Thanks.
Charlie Dean,
Bye-bye.
number 86, joining us on the Titan No More hotline. Florida native said he's been there here on YouTube, brought to you by Kawhi Plum, says he's been there a couple of times. It's beautiful. It is awesome. It is clean. A lot of stuff to do. It's great. It is great. No question about it. So appreciate Charlie joining us and being a part of the program. He will be sponsoring different portions of PodUp. Castaway Hot Sauce, try their signature ball kicker hot sauce inspired by the HBC Steve Spurrier and his famous kick in 1966. Thanks to Charlie. Thanks to JC. Have a great weekend, folks, and game week on Monday. Got it very, very exciting. Y'all have a great week. We'll see you then. Take care.